Let's go. Welcome to On the Attack with Mac, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up because my nephew is the first to join the party. His name is Caden, and he is in here. What's going on, Lignum Lawns, Lone Wolf Landscaping? How you guys doing? Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Vegas trip, everything that went on over there in hot and dry Las Vegas, Nevada, at the 2025 Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference that I was at over the weekend. So I'm going to give you the full breakdown about what happened over there, what cool things I've had, podcast interviews that are coming up, some funny stories about my trip, and all types of cool things. But we start each show with live viewer shout outs, followed by the motivational minute, and then we have the winner of the week, and last but certainly not least, the word of the week by my homie Marcus Tate, the LBC OG. If you are in here from YouTube and you are wanting a shout out, do me a favor, comment down below. Let me know that you're here. We will get to the Instagram people here in just a second, but we're going to start the show with these live viewer shout outs. Like I said, my nephew is in here, Caden. He is we call him Big Ounce for the family. We got Lignum Lawns in here, Lone Wolf Landscaping, Morris Lawn Care, East River Landscapes, Catsball Lawns, LLC, ML Birch. What's going on with you? And then over here on YouTube, we got Heart and Soil Lawn Care, Lawrence Talbert, and my man Spence Crisco. It is a fun day today. Let me know. Check in down below. Comment. Let me know how your day has been. Today has been a wonderful day for me. But live viewer shout outs, like I said, that's who we got in here right now. And I'm excited. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I apologize for being a little bit late, but I just got back from Las Vegas and I had to set everything back up in my office. I took my laptop with me, my podcasting board, all of these podcasting mics that got me looking like an offensive coordinator or head coach in the NFL or something. And I had to set everything back up and forgot that this is a video podcast. So I needed to get my webcam. So I was ready to hit go live, but you wouldn't have been able to see your boy. And if you're if you're listening on the podcast, do me a favor, you might as well come and join us Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, and hang out while we do the live show live every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I would love for you to be here. But we got Six Polo Jones over here on Instagram, Lemire Landscaping over here on YouTube. What's going on with everybody? This week's motivational minute is going to be straight off the top of the dome because I didn't have anything written down. I had to go to cheerleading practice with my daughter. But this week's motivational minute, let me hit the banner real quick, is when you have young kids, right? It's all about memories. Everything that we do, in my opinion, this is what me and my wife, we live our life for the memories. It ain't necessarily about money, right? But it is about relationships and the memories that you create. This is why we want to go out and make some money so we can create some amazing memories. I got to create some amazing memories with some friends of mine out there in Las Vegas. I want you to go out and do things that are going to help you to create the memories that you want in your life. When we leave, we can't take any of the material things that we have with us, but we can live on by the memories and the feelings that we give to the people who come within our atmosphere. It's like the Milky Way. We all live in that galaxy, and you yourself are a galaxy. And every one of those stars that are going around you as the son or daughter of your thing is living off the memory of you. So, who cares about money? Who cares about materialistic things, cars and clothes and all of that? When the only thing that we really have when we leave this earth is the memories that we leave behind. So, I encourage you to not focus so much on money, but focus more on impact and the memories that you get to create with those who you love and those who look up to you and those who you inspire and who may even admire you. Go out there and make memories with those people because that is how we truly live forever. That was off the top of the dome, but go out there and make those memories. That's what I got to do over the weekend. And that concludes this week's motivational minute. Let me talk to some more people in here. We got Los Viraniums is in the building. Morris Lawn Care, he says, "What's up, family?" We got Six Polo Jones. I might have said that already. 7-Eleven Landscaping is in the building. We got Dwayne Rose in the building. What's going on? Spence Crisco's in the building. Now let's get to this week's winner of the week. This person, let me pull it up because he DM'd me in Facebook to let me know. Because again, if you want to be a winner of the week, okay, all you got to do is nominate yourself. I don't know what wins are to you. Now, someone else may see you, they may nominate you. That's happened. My man Spence Crisco nominated someone last week. You can nominate yourself, or I'll just find you because I like something that it is that you're doing. But I really enjoy when people let me know what is going on with them. What do you consider a win in your life? For me, it was starting a business, getting after it, realizing that I could do more than I ever thought possible once I started this business. So every time someone starts a new business, it always excites me, no matter if you just got your first yard, or you just got your first lawnmower, or you upgraded from the car that you were pulling the lawnmower out of the trunk of and then upgrade into a pickup truck, or from a van to a pickup truck, or from a 1500 to a 2500 to a 3500 or 350, whatever type of trucks you like. It is a win. All right, your kid graduating from college, you getting a new dog, you figuring out something new that you didn't know before, like route density or a CRM service. All of those are wins. And no one gets to determine what the wins in your life are but you. And I would encourage you to shout yourself out, shout some other people out, and be a hater. I mean, be a congratulator and not a hater. All right. But this week's winner of the week, he DM'd me in the Facebook DMs. Um, and he is in here all the time. I don't know if he's in here right now or if he's watching on Instagram or YouTube. But my homie, the Pawn Digger, Eric Triplet, is in here. He was at Pod Row with me over there in Las Vegas. But this week's winner of the week, let me hit the banner, is my man Chris Williams, the owner of Lithho Lawn Care LLC. Now, the reason he's this week's winner of the week is because, first of all, he checked on me while I was in Las Vegas. He wanted to make sure everything was cool and copacetic over there in Vegas. And I'll tell you some stories about Vegas here in a second. It was a fun time. But he said, "Hope all is well, brother. Hope you had a great time out there. Hey, I just wanted to share something with you. I'm up to 7 clients now, and I bet that brings back memories. I had to share that with you, brother. Stay solid, Mac." That is from my man Chris Williams with Lithho Lawn Care. And I can remember when I got to my first 7 properties. It was amazing. I didn't know very much about anything. I thought I was making money. I wasn't. I wasn't taking into consideration any of the expenses that I had to do. I wasn't counting myself as an employee and taking along that hourly rate. All I knew is that whenever I left my house in the morning, I might have had 25 or 30 bucks for gas. And when I came home that night, it was 3 or 400 dollars in my hand, cold hard cash. I didn't even have a CRM or anything like that. So when he says that, I bet that brings back memories. It definitely does, and I can't wait till that is a memory for you when you go from 7 to 14 to 28 to, you keep doing the math. I ain't gonna go much higher than that. All right, 49, I think, might be the next number up if we keep doubling. I don't know, but my man Chris Williams is out here getting after it. He's up to 7 yards, and I am so proud of you, homie. Keep killing it, man. Make sure you guys go out and hit my man Chris up with Litho. It's Litho Lawn Care LLC. I believe he is on Instagram. I know he's on YouTube, and he's definitely on Facebook. So shout out to you, homie. Congratulations on getting up to those 7 yards that you have. We are very proud of you. All right. We hope that I hope that you got some people in your corner who are uh, giving out that encouragement, because I know one thing: the light bringers are coming to send you that encouragement. Keep killing it, bro. Chris Williams out here killing it with Lithlo Lawn Care Services. And that brings us to this week's word of the week. Let me find it in my text messages. Each and every week, my homie Marcus Tate, the LBC OG, sends me and a bunch of other people some positive words of encouragement to start our week off. And then Monday night, I like to come on the show here and give it to you before we get into our main show topics. What's going on? Thread and Harmony, how you doing? Escobedo, 32. What's going on with you? Bulk Delivery Pros. I got to meet him. EM Landscaping Services, the 21-year-old savage now. Eden Lawn Care. What's going on with you? How are you doing today? And then over here, we got Dwayne Rose in the building. Spence Crisco. He's always one of the people commenting the most on YouTube. But this week's word of the week, let me hit this banner real quick. This week's word of the week, rise and shine. Word of the week is patient. Patient is defined as being able to accept or tolerate delays, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. Having patience is a virtue. This is a key component to decision making and handling major problems. Some people just have a lot of patience that they've gained over time. Life and major issues have taught them how to deal with challenging situations. So when times get tough, practice the discipline of patience. It opens your mind to see the problem more clearly. Be patient, then, my brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. That is from James chapter 5, verse 7 in the NIV version of the Bible. Have a great week. Marcus Tate. Be patient, man. It's getting hot out here. The season is coming to a close, and you got to be patient. Things will start to become fruitful for you. I know for me personally, when we first start out the year, we're planting seeds, right? But sometimes those seeds, you don't get to reap the benefits of those for a month on the commercial side of things. Right? You got to be patient. And right now, when we start in April and we work our way through June, July, and August is when most of us start to finally get into the black. We've been in the red the entire season. We're buying mulch, we're buying fertilizers and weed control and all these different types of things. Maybe reinvested into new equipment at the beginning of the season that you can pay off throughout the entirety of the season. And it takes a little bit of time before that bank account really starts to balloon up. And right now is that time. And I've been patient. I hope that you've been patient and that we're going to finish off this season as strong as we can with being patient, continuing to water in those seeds that Marcus Tate always talks about, watering those seeds so that you can grow up, be fruitful, multiply those crops, and then eventually reap those rewards when it comes time to do harvesting in the fall. So let's go, man. The word of the week, fire each and every week from my homie Marcus Tate. But now let's get into this week's show. I have had to make a little outline because so many things happened over in Vegas. My goodness gracious. Starting with right after last week's show, we're going to get into the main part of the show now. I appreciate everyone who's here tonight. What's going on, Landscaping Renegade on Instagram? We got Scotty Wood, Brian in the building, Eden Lawn Care. What's going on with y'all? Birdman is over here on. I hope you got to hear that, Lithgo. Litho, we just honored you as this week's word of the week. I mean, word of the week, winner of the week. So congratulations to you. We're also now streaming on Facebook as well, so you can catch the show on YouTube, which is how I prefer you watch it. Right? I don't know what it looks like on the other platforms, but on YouTube is the main platform. Now we're also streaming on Instagram as well, which is how we've been doing it. And now we're also on Facebook. So shout out to everyone who's going to be coming through. This is how we're going to do it. We're on 3 platforms now, and then the fourth one will be the podcast when it comes out at a later date. And we might even add TikTok on here soon as StreamYard continues to make collaborations with these social media platforms. But let's get into this week's thing. Let me take this banner off. Comment down below if you've ever been to Las Vegas. Let me know. I would love to hear some of your Vegas stories. But Vegas was amazing. We went over there for the 2025 Lawn and Landscape Magazine Technology Conference. That is a lot to say, but it was an amazing time. And I want to tell you all about it on today's show. I would love some comments down below. Let me know if you find this show funny, informative, all of this stuff. But we did podcasting. I did podcasting. I made some YouTube videos. So be on the lookout for them. We shot some Instagram reels. We did a lot of networking, met a lot of cool people, learned a lot from some very brilliant people. The top 100 uh, green industry businesses. I don't know if, I guess it's lawn and landscaping businesses were honored there as well the night before the actual conference started. So that was cool to get to meet some people. I didn't know this, but like the top like lawn care company, landscaping company is called Brightview. I heard of them before. What I didn't know was they make like $1.6 billion a year. That is nuts. And so the top 100, they are like in the higher than $20 million a year in their business. I don't foresee myself ever trying to do that, but it was cool to see people who do that and learn from how they do that. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you want to be like me, just one crew or maybe two crew, with the second crew being the solo owner operator. My son will be coming back here sometime in August, so him and Captain Jack will start that second truck, and then I'll be solo by myself. So if you're like that, or you're just solo by yourself, you no employees and one truck, um, you could be like me. It ain't that hard. Or maybe you want to be 1.6 billion. Whatever the case may be, you got that option to do whatever it is you want. And to get to be around people like that, let you know like what type of things you're gonna have to deal with if that's the route you want to go. The same way you can listen to me or some of these other people who are out here as solo owner operators or one crew type outfits, and you can be like us, so you can take it wherever you want. And it was cool to be around so many people who have taken it to, the stratosphere, and then there's people like me who are just at cruising altitude, and we're fine with that. But it was an amazing time. But right after ADHD, man, I gotta tell you something. um it really makes me do things at the last minute. I swear to you. So last week, we're going to get this thing started. This is the Vegas trip. Last week, I do the show Monday nights, every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I knew that I had to get a flight at 6:05 in the morning on Tuesday morning. So the show, I ended earliest, ended probably around 10:15, 10:20, something like that. Sometimes we go 2 hours, sometimes, we're an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, whatever. I never know because this is off the top of the dome and it's live. However, I did know that I'm gonna have to travel over to Las Vegas right after the show. So I was like, all right, let me make sure I'm cool with my time, because ADHD gives you time blindness. So I don't really be recognizing stuff. But I've been knowing about this trip for months. I've known about it 2 weeks in advance. I knew about it the week before I went. You would think I would have packed like my clothes and all of that stuff. I did nothing. I knew I couldn't pack my electronics, what I do, the laptop, my webcam, my podcasting board. That stuff could have waited till after the show, but my dumb behind waited for everything. I didn't pack no clothes, toiletries, any of that stuff, and I didn't pack any of my electronics. So the show's over. I get off the show. I immediately start packing. All right, pack all my clothes up first. Then I come down, get all the electronics, get all of that stuff packed up. My wife had went out that day and got me a brand new like carry-on suitcase so I could take my podcasting board, my laptop, and everything with me, and keep everything like that type of stuff on my person, and not let them put it under the plane where they just be playing football and throwing your stuff all over the place. So she went and got me this nice suitcase, and so I get everything all packed up. By the time I got done doing this after 10 o'clock, it's probably about 1:30, like between 1:15 and 1:30. So I lay down. I'm like, I need to leave my house for the airport by 2:45 to 3:30 at the latest, because the boarding time for my flight was 5:24, something like that, and we or 5:25, and then we leave at 6:05. So I'm like, all right, it's 1:30. I'm not even gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna just stay awake. Let me know if you can relate. All right. I'm gonna just stay awake. I ain't gonna go to sleep. Cool. So there's this new show that came out on Netflix called Untamed. It got Eric Bana in it. If you don't know who Eric Bana is, he's the guy from Troy, the older brother that got killed by Achilles in front of the Troy wall, or whatever. Before Helen of Troy and the younger brother had a love affair, and that started the whole war and all of that. Well, Eric Bana is that guy. So I'm watching this show. My 6-year-old, she don't really mess with loud noises unless it's on a kid show. So she could watch Sonic 3 and they could be shooting laser guns and there could be explosions and all of that. She's fine with that. But let dad put on, you know, Iron Man or Gladiator or something like that, and loud music, explosions and all of that. Now it's the most terrifying thing. All right. So it's 1:30 in the morning. My daughter sleeps in her room. She never, I won't say she never comes to our room, but she'll get up in the middle of the night, gotta go to the bathroom. Next thing you know, she's knocking on mommy and daddy's door. I want to snuggle. Now, most of the time, we just direct her back to her room. All right. It's right across the hall from mine. For whatever reason, on Monday night when I gotta leave in a couple hours. Oh, come on. She comes in the room. Now, I ain't blaming my 6-year-old. All right. This is my own responsibility. However, when she came in, I would have stayed up watching that show till 3 o'clock in the morning. When she came in, I was like, she's not gonna wanna, she'll stay up and she's gonna be complaining about the loud noise, all of that, whatever. So I turned off the TV. This was a mistake. Woo-hoo. This was a mistake. I turned off the TV. I got my alarm set and everything. My alarm was set for 2:30. You probably could do this on Androids too, but on the iPhone, you can go to the haptics thing and the sounds and the haptics, and you can make your alarm not be as loud because when it's all the way up, that thing be screaming. I'm talking about so loud you can hear it all the way downstairs, outside, down at the pool. You can hear that alarm in my room. So I had mine turned to a little bit lower. All right. It wasn't on the charger though. It was kind of laying on the bed next to me. So at some point when my daughter got in the bed with us, I rolled over. Now I'm laying on the phone. Ooh, I'm knocked out. My wife, she wakes up. She's like, Cornell, you got to get up. You're gonna miss your flight. I'm like, what time is it? She said, it's 5:46. I said, babe, that flight is missed. I'm telling you that right now. The flight's missed. The flight take off at 6:05. I live 45 minutes from the airport. My boarding time was at 5:35 or something like that. It's 5:46. Them doors are locked, player. I said, that's missed. There ain't nothing I could do about that. So now I'm on my phone. I did fly business select. So that's Southwest version of first class. They don't really have first class. So you just get to get on the plane first. You get a free drink and you get to sit in the front of the plane. So also there's some other perks like you can change your flight for free, same day, all of this type of stuff. So I really wasn't stressed about it. Right. I just was like, all right, bet. I go on a thing. I go to the other nonstop flight because it was like there was two nonstop flights. There was one at 6:05 in the morning, and then there was one at 6:05 at night. So I just went from the 6:05 in the morning to the 6:05 at night. Now the funny thing is, you leave at 6:05 in Pittsburgh, but we're going back to the future. So we're flying back against the grain, going to 3 hours behind. So we're in the air. I'm sorry. So I was supposed to get there at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. 6:05 a.m., leave Pittsburgh, get to Vegas 7:30 in the morning. That is weird as hell to me. Let me know how you feel, but that's weird to me that you go back in time like that. So I changed it to 6:05, which was actually cool. It was actually cool. I missed my flight because like I ain't really got a lot of clothes. I wear work clothes, I wear sweatpants. I got like, I don't know, 5, 6 pairs of jeans or something like that. And 4 of them are black. Like I wear the same thing all the time. It just makes life easy. So I was like, I'm about to go to Las Vegas, and all I got is pants, blue jeans, and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want to be out here, and it'd be scorching hot in Las Vegas. Now, what I didn't understand was I ain't really wasn't gonna be outside too much. We was pretty much stayed inside the casino the whole time. But I was like, all right, this gives me time to. I need to buy another charger. I need to get my. I need a couple pairs of shorts. So I go out and buy some Nike shorts, whatever. Then I get to my flight, get on my flight 6:05, get in the air. As we're going back across the time zones, 6:05, it gets to 7:30. And it basically stays 7:30 for 4 consecutive hours. So it's like 6:05, boom, 7:30. I look at my phone. I'm watching a movie on my phone. I was like, "Oh, it's 7:30." Boom, I look at my phone about an hour later, it's still 7:30. I look at it again, like an hour, it's still 7:30. When we landed in Las Vegas, it was 7:29. How in the hell is this possible? I don't know, but that's how it was. So finally, I get to the Las Vegas airport. Now, the last time that I flew somewhere, I went to Alabama for the lawn care life conference that Paul Jameson and Jason Krill put on. So last time I went anywhere, it was there. So I go down and I always rent from this rental car place called Avis. And the reason is because I went one time, I didn't have no reservation. I was in and out at Avis in like 5 minutes. They ain't try to upsell me on 1,000 different. Hey, you need the insurance? You want the gas card? Do you want the easy pass on the? I don't want none of that, man. I just want the goddamn card and to get on my way. And y'all want to keep asking me to do this. I got it's on a credit card, which means it's already insured. My commercial business insurance takes care of any rental cars that I need to do anyway. So I don't need none of your stuff. Okay. All right. So I go through Avis. Last time I went through Avis, it was a different experience. They was like, "Are you preferred?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't even know you could do that." Well, you got to sign up on the app, whatever. I'm like, "So what, man? Do you got cars?" Yeah, we got cars. I'm like, "Let me get a 1500 or something like that." We don't have no gas cars. All we got is electric. So it was a whole fiasco when I was in Alabama. Get the electric car. Before I even got to the hotel, it had already drained. I was supposed to do shop tour. It was a bad experience. So this year I'm like, this time I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna get on Avis. I'm gonna sign up to be preferred. I'm gonna reserve the cars that are going down there and winging it like I normally do. ADHD. Come on. I'm gonna rent the car, whatever. I go on. I'm like, all right. My brother just got a Cybertruck. Now I've been riding around in cuz a Cybertruck for a couple weeks. You know, he ain't even driving it. It's driving us. We enjoying ourselves, but it's real technical. So I was like, all right, my brother, he got a he got a Tesla truck. I'm gonna go ahead and rent me a Tesla. Not a Tesla truck, but just a regular long range. I think it was called a Model 3. I don't know. I don't know the names of the Teslas. But I was like, I want to get a Tesla. And so I rented a Tesla and they was, what color you want? I want red. That's my favorite color. I'm getting that. So I get down there, find where the preferred lounge is, go to the preferred lounge. The lady's like, here, we got this red Tesla for you. It's right over here. Boy, I go get in the thing. Why is this thing on 23%? It's on 23%. So I'm like, my brother in his Cybertruck, there's places you could charge these phones. All there's places you could just sit the phone down and it'll charge through the mag strip. There's USB regulars, there's USB-C. I don't know, is that called a USB-S? US. I don't know, but the USB-C, the little small ones now, there's all types of things in my brother's truck. So I'm expecting when I get into these Tesla cars, it's gonna be somewhat the same. So I get in there. Number one, it's on 23%. I can't get jiggy with this shit. 23%, you kidding me? So I asked the lady, I'm like, yo, well, I'm supposed to bring this thing back on full when I'm getting it on 23. Where do I even charge it? Why do I even have to charge it? This is insane. You just gotta admit. You when you come to a rental car place, you expect it to have gas. And if it's electric, I expect it to have battery. So the reason I went with the electric car over the gas car is because the price was a $200 difference. I'm talking about the compact car, the little Prius or whatever the compact cars are. $450. Or electric car, $250. I'm like, "Oof, give me the electric, man. Hell, I'm gonna take that electric car then." And I want the Tesla. So again, 23%. They got me messed up. So I go back in. The lady was nice though. It wasn't the employee lady who was there taking care. She was awesome. I go back in. I say, "Ma'am, I'm supposed to bring this thing back on full." She's like, "No, you could just bring it back whatever it's on." I said, "It's on 23%. Am I even gonna make it to a charging station? I don't want this car." She was like, "Well, we got the black Tesla over here." I said, "All right, cool." So now I take all my stuff out of the red one. I go over to the black one, put the stuff in the black Tesla. I'm looking around. There's no charging USB-C things in here. There's a there's a couple places where you can sit your phone. So I take my pop socket thing off the back, this little deal. I take that off. I sit my phone in the thing. It don't charge though. My phone is on 4% at this point, and I don't know. I'm in Las Vegas. I don't know where the hell I'm going. So I really need this thing to be charged. The car's on 88%. The car got scratches all up the doors. The rims are all scratched up. So I'm walking around the car. I'm like, I really don't want to take this one either. And there's no charging ports anywhere in the car. It's on 88%. Let me put the seat back. Let me see how comfortable this thing is. I put the seat back. It's like, "Rrrr," I mean, making a noise. Also, the little thing where you push the seat back and forth, it ain't even connected to the seat. It's like hanging off the side. So now I'm in this boy. I'm like, man, this is crazy, yo. I can't believe Avis, boy, this is 2 times in a row, man. Count your days, bro. Count your days. I go back in the thing. I asked the lady. I said, "Are there no other cars? Like, cause this is wild." I also the key is a credit card type thing. I couldn't figure out how to turn the car on for 5 minutes. Then I figure out how to turn the car on. I can't figure out how to put it in park or reverse or drive or anything. So long story short, I don't like Teslas. I don't like them. I go back into the lady. I tell the lady, like, Is there any other cars available?" She tells me there's a Hyundai Ioniq, which is what I had in Alabama, which wasn't bad. Or there's a Kia E EV6 or something like that was the other thing. So I end up getting a Kia EV6 because my wife and I we have a Kia Telluride, and I love that thing. There's some things I would change about it, but it is a nice car. One thing, as soon as I got in there, there was 1,000 charging ports everywhere. There's ones in the seat, there's in the front, at the bottom, and on the top. There and in the glove compartment. There might have been one on the door. They were every damn where. This EV, it was dope though. So I enjoyed that. Um, Now once I got the car and everything, it's now I got there at 7:30 or so. It's now like 8 something. I got to get to the hotel. Vegas is hot. Caesar's Palace. That's where the Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference was. So I'm not. I haven't traveled much without my wife. Okay, I haven't traveled much. So my wife normally takes care of everything. She knows the logistics, where we're supposed to go, all of that. When I travel on my own, it is like the blind leading the blind, and I'm both. I'm the blind person leading the blind person behind. So, um, I put it in my navigation system. Now we got some charge going. I'm on my way. It's about a 20-minute drive. I get to Caesar's Palace. It's enormous. When I went to see my son graduate last year, we stayed at the Paris Hotel. It was easy. You just drive straight up in, and you could either get the valet or you could go into their parking garage. It was very simple and clear. When I got to Caesar's Palace, there's like a roundabout thing, and then there's a roundabout that goes all the way around the entire hotel. So when I get there, I'm used to when I go to a hotel, you pull up to the front door, a bellhop person comes down, they ask you a couple questions, whatever. You can park right there for a second, get out, go in, do your check-in, everything, come back with the dolly thing if you don't have the valet guys or the bellhop guys taking your stuff away, whatever. And then they go to your room, you follow them to your room, and then boom, you're there. When I got to this thing, I'm driving around. I can't figure out how you get in because the main entrance, there's just a million people there and a million cars, and it is hustle and bustle, and you can't just come up here and park and leave your stuff there. Someone might pull off with your rental car or your car if it's yours. Anyway, so I'm driving around. I drive around twice. I'm like, where do I go now? I get behind this line because I thought, all right, these must be people who are checking in. And now I'm just scrolling on my phone, looking down at my phone, and I'm like, why ain't we moved? We haven't moved. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. I look up, my dumb ass is in the taxi lane. I'm sitting here behind a whole bunch of taxis. That's why they ain't moving. I go around them. I go back up into the roundabout thing. I ask the guy, I need to check. How do I check into the into the, I'm gonna say the hospital? How do I check into the place? He was like, "Well, this is the valet line. You want valet?" I said, "I don't care what I get at this point." He was like, "Well, valet's $50." I said, "I don't care about that." He said, "Okay, well, you got to drive back around and get in this lane over here." I said, "All right." So I drive back around, get into that lane. He got some bellhop guy coming over. The guy get over there. He's like, "So your diamond status?" I said, "Huh? What is that?" I didn't even know. What do you mean diamond status? He was like, diamond status, where they give you a car and a room and all of that. I said, "Hell no, bro. I ain't no gambler. I no, I am not." He said, "Well, we can't take your bags here. You're gonna have to go to the other valet." Oh, there's more than one? Okay, cool. Hop back in my rental car, drive back up, go under this underpass. I gotta make an illegal turn to get to where this other valet is. So I done made the legal turn, I back in. I'm about to start pulling my stuff out. This guy comes out. He was like, "What are you doing, sir?" I said, "The dude told me I had to come down to this valet. It say valet right there." He was like, "Yeah, but that was blocked off. So this is for the forum shops. Are you gonna go shopping or you coming to check in?" I'm like, I want to check in." He was like, "Well, you gotta go to the other valet." I said, Y'all got three different valets?" He was like, "Yeah, you're at the you're at the wrong one." I said, "I was at the all right, bet." He's like, "You gotta go up here, make a left, and then there's valet or self park." So I go up to thing and I'm like, hold on a second. There ain't even no charge for self parking. Why the hell would I pay $50 a day for nothing? Because they ain't I'm not even going anywhere. Why did they even get this rent a car in the first place is beyond me. Well, I hung out with my son, so that was cool. But anyway, the I get to the third valet and it says self park or valet. So I like, all right, I'm gonna take the self park route because it don't look like you got to pay for the self parking thing. So I take the self parking. I go in, I'm driving around. Boy, there's no parking spots in this parking thing. They have this thing up top that says like it's green and it says like 164 to the left, 99 to the right. So there looks like there's a whole bunch of parking spots, but there ain't nothing close to the door. So finally, I do see one, and it's literally right by the door. So I park in there, I take my stuff out, and everything. I finally now also when you self park, now you gotta carry this luggage all the way through the casino, and it's the casino the second you get off the damn airplane. It's a casino, like in the airport. It's casino from that point on. It's everywhere casino. So now I'm walking through the casino with my luggage on carpet. You try wheeling luggage on carpet, boy, it ain't easy to do. So I'm pushing this stuff. I'm sweating and everything. It's cool in here, but I'm sweating. I'm walking around for like 30 minutes. I don't know where I'm going. It's just everything. It's like a maze. Everything looks the same. It's no matter where you look. There's gambling machines and bars and people walking. It's just everywhere. So I'm all over the place. I'm walking. I'm asking, Hey, how do I get? Where do you check in?" to this place. So finally, a nice person that worked at the place, they like, here, you just follow me. I'll take you. So they took me over there, whatever. I get over to the place, and after 30 minutes, I go and check in, right? So now I go upstairs, put my stuff in my room. I'm hitting up Payjack and Naylor because they were the only ones there. Mike Garvey and Larry didn't get there yet, and Eric Triplett didn't get there. He's the pond digger. So there was 5 podcasts there. It was On the Attack with Mac. There was LCR Media podcast. There was Profits with Payjack, the Side Hustle Squad podcast, and then my man, the pond digger, Eric with Eric Triplett, the pond digger. So now I'm just hanging out with Payjack and Naylor, and we're just doing our thing. So we sit down, get something to eat quickly at one of there was a food court area. So we sit down at the food court area. Everything is a la carte, which is to be expected. But what is not to be expected is when everything's a la carte and you're going to a fast food place for it to be $50. I got a hamburger, some French fries, and a water, and it was $52. I couldn't believe it. Which is it's fine. We're on vacation. It's all tax write off or anything. But Caesar's Palace was it was wild. So funny thing is, I'm walking around. Um, we go to the meet and greet. That was Wednesday night. So we go to this meet and greet on Wednesday night, and they got like bottles of water, Pepsi, and all of this. Now, you buy a bottle of water in that casino, it's about to be $13, $12, something like that. If you get it from the bar, you get it from a vending machine, it's like 5 or 6. You get it from the convenience store, it's like 8. So like it's the same water, but depending on where you get it is a crazy price increases. We should all be raising our prices if they could charge $9 for Aquafina water, 13.95 for Aquafina water, $4.65 for Aquafina water in 3 different locations. It's crazy. And then there was free stuff at the meet and greet. You got these tickets, but water was free and everything. So I was like, all right. The first night, there's a mini bar thing, like a little refrigerator inside the dressers or whatever. On the top, there is a QR code. You can scan the QR code to see how much the mini bar stuff is. Now, on top of the dresser, though, there's 2 Fiji waters, some M&Ms, and when I say M&Ms, I mean like the M&Ms you would get at the movie theater. So they're in the box, that type thing. M&Ms, some terrible looking gourmet pretzels. They looked horrible. Like, ugh. Um, Sour Patch Kids, some sort of temptation thing that had like lips on it. So like you're in Vegas, it probably had like prophylactics in there. I'm trying to be politically correct here. Some different type of flavors and stuff like that. I don't know. You just see the box that says temptation right on the box. I guess you're in Vegas. There was also like some chargers for Androids and iPhones and things like that. Now I scan the QR code and I see that these Reese Pieces, it was Reese Pieces, M&Ms, and Sour Patch Kids. You get them for $1 at the Dollar Tree. We do this every time we go to the movies. Right, and I still buy the popcorn at the movies and the slushies and everything, but we gonna go get them candies from the Dollar Tree for $1 instead of spending $5 for them at the movie theater. All right, because I taking 8 kids with me. Everybody wants something. Well, we gonna go to the Dollar Tree and spend $8 instead of me spending $100. Can you feel me? I hope you can. So I scanned the thing for the mini bar, and it's telling me like the $13 for these $1 Reese's Pieces. I ain't gonna lie, I almost did it every night. I almost ate those Reese Pieces every night. M&Ms. I almost did it, but I couldn't get past the fact they was 15 damn dollars. That is ridiculous. So I'm walking around with Payjack. We get Payjack and Naylor. Wednesday night from 5:30 to 7:30, there was like a meet and greet mixer type thing where you could see everything that was set up and all of that type of stuff. But then they had like food and they had drinks and you had drink ticket. Well, I had drink tickets because I was an exhibitor, so you got a couple free drinks, whatever. libations or soft drinks, whatever you wanted. And then they had like some hors d'oeuvre type thing. So I grabbed a couple waters and a Pepsi, and I'm like, I'm gonna just take these to my room. I'm gonna throw them in the mini bar, bruh. I go upstairs. In the mini bar, they had on the door all these little tiny liquors, like Crown Royals, all of that type of stuff. Vodkas, Smirnoffs, 1800s, those type of little tiny bottles was all on the door. On the bottom, there was a bunch like 5 wine bottles, and then there was 2 trays, and the trays had Pepsi products like Pepsi, Starry. There was 2 Fiji waters in there. There was some like um there's things called White Claws, but these weren't those. It was called High Noons, but they were like White Claws, and a couple Pepsis. So I get back to the room, like, cause we're about to go get something to eat. I get back to the room, take off my backpack and grab the waters out, put them in the mini bar, go back, cause I'm like, I want them to be cold. I go back downstairs to go hang out with Naylor, Pajak, cause this is Wednesday now. Now everybody's here. Mike Garvey and Larry Delasante from Side Hustle Squad are there, and Eric Triplett was there, but he wasn't with us in the hotel. He stayed at a friend's house. So I'm walking with Naylor and Pajak, and I'm and I'm like, at least I'm gonna have cold water and a cold Pepsi when I get back to my room. And they like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I just took my stuff and put it in the mini bar. They was like, you know, it's $75 to put stuff in that mini bar. I said, what? What? $75? I said, well, I ain't take nothing out of it. I just put my stuff on top of there. He said, you didn't read the card upstairs that had the QR code on it? I said, no, I scanned the QR code. I ain't read that stuff. He said, it says it on there. If you put anything in this thing, they charge $75, I'm sorry, $85 to the room for a restocking fee. So you can't take stuff out. How do they know? There are sensors on the trays. Inside that thing, every spot that something goes, there is a sensor in there that weighs that particular thing. If you move it, they charge you for what's in there in that spot. I couldn't believe it. I ran back upstairs so fast. I grabbed the stuff out of the thing. I read the thing. It damn sure does say that. Ain't that something? Caesar's Palace, the nonstop selling place. You want to go somewhere and learn how to sell, upsell your business, man. Go to one of them Vegas places. There is nothing but upsells going on inside that place the entire time. But that was wild. And in Caesar's Palace, just the people watching in general. If you do you enjoy people watching, let me know down in the comments. Bruh, the people watching out there, there's people doing all types of stuff from everywhere, dressed all kind of ways. It it is one of the craziest things ever. But that was my journey to Vegas, and then my first experience with Caesar's Palace. And then the first day was the meet and greet. I got to meet some of the cool people, um, and hang out with some really cool people. Like I said, the top 100 lawn and landscape businesses in America were they were there being honored, and I got to meet some of those people, which was very interesting. I met a guy named Justin White, and he has this group called the Disruptors, and the Disruptors is a group for people who make over $1 million, and you got to like qualify to be in it. And so I got to meet this guy. He's unreal. He flies his own airplane and everything like that. So he's gonna come on the live show one of these days soon. I got to meet some phenomenal, I mean, phenomenal people. Our industry is so dope. Like the people in the top 100, you would think, and when I say you would think is, I would say I was thinking they would feel like they're better than you, right? Like I'm just a guy with 2 trucks and 1 employee. But boy, do they just sit back and take the time to like try and school you to what's going on, school you to the game. I'm gonna tell you about one of those guys here in a second. But the Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference as a whole, it was completely different from like Equip Expo or even one of my meetups. It was a different type of vibe that was out there. So when we go to Equip Expo, and I would encourage anyone, next year it's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you can afford to go out there, I encourage you to go because of the the people, the atmosphere, and the learning that you get to do. It was so small and intimate, whereas Equip is like this on all types of steroids. You know what I mean? This was like small, intimate. It was a lot quieter, so you got to like really have good, genuine conversations with people who are either where you would like to go or to give you more imagination to what your own process is, right? So like for me personally, I like I said before and I will always say I have really no desire to have a multi-million dollar lawn care company. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy learning from the people who do have that stuff. Because whether you want to take it to that level or not is irrelevant. However they're doing things though is very relevant. So like how is a company that is making $10 million a year or $1.7 billion a year like one of these other companies, how are they doing things? The, to me it seems very smart to learn from people like that, because whether you want to go there or not does not mean you can't implement some of those practices that made this company be so successful. How does a company that's making $10 million or $1.6 billion, how do they how did they do all of the estimates for all of those how much do you have to do? We talking about lawn maintenance, property maintenance, that type of stuff. How much of that do you actually have to do to make $10 million? And to get all of that work, how much time did it take for you to do all of that estimating? Because I can almost guarantee you that they went out and they did some research on some stuff and they figured out how to do some things more efficiently. So they don't have to have, maybe an estimator going around to physical locations to do estimates on lawn maintenance. Now, me personally, I've already implemented some of that stuff where I don't go and do lawn maintenance estimates at the person's physical location anymore. We do it on the internet. But I learned that from someone who had a $4 million business. What could we learn from someone who has a $25 million business? And that's why I say like Equip Expo is cool, but there's so many people and it's so fast and fast moving that you might not have a lot of time to sit there and really quote unquote pick someone's brain. But here, man, you got to sit down and talk to someone for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and it's quiet and you could hear. And not only do you get to learn from them, maybe they get to learn something from you. Because one of the things that I learned while I was over there was this: a lot of those $100 million businesses, or those top 100 people, they have no social media presence whatsoever. They're just killing it in the business world. To my surprise, some of them wanted to meet me. Well, why would they want to do that? Well, because they want to do social media. And like I always say, we need to be starting social media businesses and doing that type of stuff while we're doing the thing that we love. Well, those top 100s, they know that too. That doesn't mean all of them don't have social media presences, but a lot of them don't. And when they come over to you and they're on a podcast and they're all excited to be on a podcast and they're sharing these jewels and these gems and these golden nuggets to help us go out there and win in our life, whatever our win is to us, it is dope. So it's cool to kind of like see they want to ask questions to me about how to do YouTube videos or how I do a podcast or whatever. And the same thing, I want to learn from them. How the hell are you making 10, $20 million? And what could I use from what it is that you're doing that would help me to make 10,000 more or 30,000 or 50,000 more? Because we all could use some more money. Let me know if you agree or not. But it was cool. Like I said, it was a different crowd. A lot of high level conversations were had, um, that could only be had in person. It's one thing for us to talk on here. I can't see your face. I don't know if you're actually feeling this or not unless you comment, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever. But when you're in the room with this person, whoever they may be, it's a different experience, man. It's a different it's a different vibe when you're around. You get to see like when I talk. Can y'all tell? Like I'm not thinking too much because I'm talking about what I already know, and that's how it be with these people. You get to see the look on their face. Is there a whole bunch of ums and like a whole bunch of stuttering, or do they know their shit? And my experience over here was these people know their shit, and there's a reason why they're top 100, like the one percenters of the 1%, upper echelon type conversations that I'm getting to learn from. So that was cool. There was also a lot of cool and innovative things. I got to see an inverter by this company called Tawa. I hope I'm saying it right. TOWA. So there's a lot of, and this is a technology conference, mind you. So there's a lot of battery powered equipment, autonomous mowers, CRMs. There was this thing called Bulk Delivery Pro where they're bringing aggregates like they call themselves like the Uber of aggregates, where you just drop a pin and then miraculously a dump truck comes and just drops off a whole bunch of whatever it is that you need: gravel, 2B river rock, mulch, topsoil, whatever the case may be. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I will try to get to, yeah, definitely, Zach. I'll try to get to some of these comments here before I close the show out. I apologize. I know I'm talking a lot, but it was a lot of cool things. That was one of the cool things I seen. But that tower thing was like, with all this battery powered equipment, one of the main issues that we're going to deal with, and I would like to eventually convert to at least my small equipment being all battery, because I'm tired of them mixing in the gas and getting gas and doing all of that stuff, vapor locks and all of that. So I personally am probably going to invest into some Kress commercial equipment either towards the end of this season or at the beginning of next season. As we, I just want to be quieter, and there's whole lot of things. But this tower thing was like, all right, if you plug in your batteries and they start drawing off, I think I want to say he said most house outlets are like 15 watts or amps. I'm not a technology person, so this is off the top of my head. But you plug this thing in and it somehow changes, it like operates through that thing, and then it doesn't blow out your circuit breakers. And then he showed like how it turns on and it turns off on its own. And this thing was really cool. I wish I could explain it better, but I did do a reel with him, so I will put that reel out probably tomorrow so that you could see it. And it was things like that. New battery equipment. I got to meet Ed Wright for the first time and see the Wright Standard ZK autonomous mower that is gas powered. Some of these things are battery powered, but this one has gas, and you get on it, you press a button that like tells you you're making a perimeter, tells the machine you're making a perimeter. You make the perimeter pass with it, then you hop off of it, turn it into auto mode, press go on uh like a remote control, and then it just mows whatever pattern that you want it, whether it's diagonal, horizontal, or vertical, and it just mows it on its own. Now he said that it's mainly for big acreage. The one I seen was a 72-inch, but I thought that was really cool. And that is something that I ain't gonna lie. Kress is dropping a new like battery powered stand-on mower, stand-on sit down. I'm not sure which one it is, but it is autonomous as well. And I'm eager to see, like, could we have like a gas motor? Or I mean, if you had two battery powers, that would be fine too. Like one for the user to ride and then one autonomous motor. But that's kind of what, like, I would like to see myself go in that direction, where you got an autonomous mower. So that way you could take on anything that you want. That one could just sit up there for most of the time as you go around, do most of your stuff. Or that could be the one that you use. You do the trimming, just let the mower go and do the mowing. You just walk around, trim real quick, and then you're done. There's people who were actually doing that, and I got to meet one of them. So there was cool things like that. Like I said earlier, I got to meet a lot of the top 100 green industry business owners, and one of the takeaways I would say from the conference as a whole is we all need to be thinking of the future. We can't be living for right now in the present. We got to see what's going to happen, and we got to be adapted right now for what the future holds. So we could be the first people. You got to strike first. One thing I learned is like the people who bought Bitcoins early are multi millionaires. And now the Bitcoin is like, I don't know, I'm making this up, $200,000 for a Bitcoin. Well, imagine if you was one of the people that bought them for $1, and now one Bitcoin costs 200,000, and you just made $999,000 profit off buying that one thing because you thought early and you struck first. The early bird gets the worm and also reaps the most benefits from it, in my experience. So I would like to be one of the first in my area who can convert that way and maybe change the market a little bit or set myself apart from the regular market and have my own unique selling proposition. That's what people always say. But that will be the thing, is to think for the future will be my top takeaway. Segment 4, we'll go into Pod Row interviews and networking, which was cool. I was out there at the 2025 Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference to be a part of Pod Row that was put on by my homie Naylor Taliaferro. He was on the show a week or two ago as we talked about this thing happening, but I was there to do podcasting, some social media stuff for YouTube, and get some reels and everything. So that was what my main goal was to go out there, but it was also to meet brand marketing directors and things like that of brands that I want to work with. And so it was cool again to be in the room with with people who are the decision makers for the things that we do. But Pod Row interviews were cool. I had the opportunity to meet Nino di Giglio. Nino di Giglio. He's from Italy. He is the marketing director for Rehlko, formerly Kohler Engines, and we talked about the rebranding of Kohler Engines and into Rehlko. So that's a podcast that will come out here very soon. Nino was an amazing guy. He was real fun to talk to, and it was cool to hear about some of the things that you have to think about when you come to rebranding. So whenever I first started my business, it was called Mac Elite Lawn Service, and then I didn't have to do too much rebranding. I wasn't like a century long business like Kohler was, but I did have to change my logo, change my colors, and all of these things. And I did that as a novice. No one knows who I am anyway, so that's fine. But to hear from a company that's rebranding from a name uh, like Kohler, who's been synonymous with dope things in engines and even in the bathroom for 100 years, and now they got to go through this whole rebranding process. So I got to learn uh what a marketing director thinks about when it comes to rebranding. And if you don't remember, last year Rehlko was like these blue bags and these lanyards that were at Equip Expo, but no one really knew what it was. And now they're trying to let everyone know, like, Rehlko, we used to be Kohler. We're still doing all of the great things that Kohler was doing. We just now have a new name and we're going in a different direction. So that was awesome to get to talk to him. I also got to talk to the research development director at Kress Commercial, Mr. Todd Zimmerman, and we got to learn about batteries and things to look for. And again, some of where the future of our industry is going is they've been pushing this battery stuff for the last few years, especially in the handheld equipment. And now the zero turn mowers are here, right? And then to get to learn about some of that stuff so that we can make more educated and informed decisions as we move into our future. Because just like the industry's changing, we're gonna have to change too. The people over there in California have already had to change. They're already electric. I don't think you can buy gas powered equipment in California anymore. You got to get it from somewhere else and like smuggle it across state lines or something like that. I don't know. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Allegedly, we'll say that. That's what they say podcasts say all the time. But you got to know what what's coming in the future so that you can act first, like I said earlier. I also got to talk to this guy named Todd Reinhart. Tom Reinhart, owner of Reinhart Landscaping, exclusively uses robotic lawnmowers. Now, I've heard about this whenever I've been at other conferences and things like that, where um, they talk about like you can have this mower just mow the yard and then you just come by and trim it. But it never really, it wasn't registering to me, right? What they meant by that until I met Todd Reinhardt. So we had a long podcast. It's like an hour and a half. It's gonna be a two-parter. But I got to meet Todd and he converted from gas powered equipment to all robotic equipment, which is nuts. He has the little small like disc type things that are like the Roomba mowers that like Husqvarna has, Kress has one. There's a thing called Navamo Segway. They have one. There's like a bunch of different um, brands that are making these robotic lawnmowers that can cut the grass or whatever. But Todd has 50 of those little mowers. He also has some of those Right ZK stand-ons that I was telling you about that are autonomous. They don't have any manually used lawnmowers. He pulled an app up on his phone and was like, "Watch this." And he pressed these two mowers and was like, "Boom, hit this section." And then he hit go mow. And I watched the robots on the app go to where and they started to cut the grass. So we're having this conversation, and I can't wait for you to hear it when it comes out on the podcast. We're having this conversation and he's telling me about it. He's like, you got to be more efficient. And look, I wanted to talk about converting from gas powered carbureted equipment to going to electric. And we started there, but boy, this interview went all over the place. Nothing but fire information from this guy, Todd. I mean, he's from Chicago. I'm going to go out and do a shop tour with him so we could see how these battery operated lawnmowers and things, how he's actually doing this stuff. Because during the episode, he's like, "Yeah, how many properties you got?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we doing 97 a week. You know what I mean? Nothing too big. He's probably doing 500 different things, or whatever." And he was like, "Yeah, well, imagine how many do you do in a day?" And I said, "You know, between 18, 25, whatever." He's like, "Imagine if you could do 60 in a day." And I'm sitting here like, what? How? Obviously there's a way to do it, even if you're on the lawnmower, and it is route density. My man M Spice got 25 properties on one street. He said he has something like 200 in the same neighborhood or something like so. It is possible, but what he was explaining to me, it wasn't registering to me. It happened during I can't wait for you to hear it. It happened during the podcast where I realized what he was actually saying. So he was like, imagine if you could do 60 of them. And I'm like, How?" He was like, if they only had to go around trimming, how long does it take to walk around the house and trim real fast? And I was just like, I was so confused. And he was like, the mower is there. The robotic mower is there. It could cut the grass every single day. And then you just have your guy go around and do the trimming. He could trim 60 of them properties in one day by himself. I was like, What? Like, you kidding? Like that? What?" He was like, "Yeah." And then he took me over to one of the things. One, it was Navamo. He took me over. He was like, "I got 32 of these or something like that." And he was like, "Watch this." And he pulled it up on the screen, and then that's when he showed it to me. And I was like, "Yo." Then he said, "You could also spray growth regulator." He's like, "If you only got to do the outsides, right? Then you go on the outsides where the gates are, and you just spray growth regulator." I don't even know what that is. So see, growth regulator. Obviously, you're gonna have to have your herbicide, pesticide license to be spraying things. Check with your state. This is not advice for me to you, but check with your state. Make sure that you're doing things legally, agriculturally, legally. But he was like, "Yeah, you just spray growth regulator. The stuff don't really grow too much, and then your guys might not even have to come out here and trim. Then you could find other things for them to do." I was like, "Yo, what?" growth regulator, robotic mowers. He said, you still charge them the same thing. He said, let's do some math. If you got $100 mow, let's just make it simple math. He's like, you go out there 30 weeks to make the math easy. That's $3,000. He said, if this lawnmower cost $1,000, well, you just made $2,000 and you don't even have to go to the property anymore. All you got to do is go out there once a month, change the little blades on the bottom of the lawnmower, do some sort of maintenance. Maybe you might need to do some maintenance or whatever. He said, I saved $30,000 a month or something like I want to say it was $30,000 a month off maintenance alone. Now he got his own maintenance team and everything to work on his stuff. But he's like, yeah, I mean, they're still fixing things. They're just fixing other things that actually need fixing. They ain't fixing. Well, I was just like, yo, he's blowing my mind. So I can't wait for you to hear those two episodes because they're going to be broken down into two. It was like an hour and 30-minute episode. But yeah, those were three fire interviews that I got to do. And then I made a YouTube video, which is going to be probably a 2 or 3 parter, where I just go around asking, people who were there, whether they were business owners like you and I, or if they were an exhibitor, like a company, bulk delivery, for example. Some good advice they would give to people when they're just starting out, because good advice for us as lawn care landscape service providers, it don't only have to come from other lawn and landscape service providers. This is what I try to say to people. It's like I do this podcast now, but I don't only listen to lawn care podcasts. I listen to all types of other podcasts too, because I want to see a podcast is a podcast, man. Just like business is business, whether it's a lawn mowing or landscaping or power washing or a hardscaping business, or you own a sports franchise. Business is business, right? It's gonna translate some way, shape, or form. They're gonna correlate to one another because business is selling, and all businesses have to sell to bring in revenue. Businesses make revenue, right? Businesses have expenses. Businesses need to have the proper insurances. Businesses need to have the right bank accounts and CPAs and coaches and things like this is what businesses all have to do, whether you are in a green industry business or any other business that's out there. So again, getting to be around these different people and ask questions of these people, and what's some good business advice you would give to someone if they're just starting out? Simple question, and I got some phenomenal answers. So look forward to those YouTube videos here real soon. And I also got to make a whole lot of I wouldn't say a whole lot of reels, but I'm trying to get better at serving the audience of the people who are watching and listening to the things that I do and create. Um, Me and my man Naylor, we had a great conversation. It was just him and we were sitting there talking. He has some mentors and some coaches, and one of the guys that he looks up to, he had the opportunity to have a breakfast with him. And so he's telling the guy all of his goals. And this is the same thing that, we do with each other too, Naylor and I and other people. And this is what the Lightbringer University thing is going to be, so we can tell hard truths to each other. Right. So Naylor got told a hard truth. So he tells the guy, here's my goals. This is what I want to do, my social media, blah, blah, blah. Dude says, what's your social media? He looks it up. Tells Naylor, this is terrible. Naylor says, why do you think he said that to me? First thing I said was because it don't match the goals, right? So my goals when it comes to this stuff is to help you. It ain't about me. It's to help the person watching or listening. Now I have to share my experiences because maybe you can relate to them and that's how they can help you. And I only know my experiences. So I have to share them if that makes sense. But when it comes to the social media stuff and how I want to help people, my pages don't necessarily look like what my goals are. So I'm learning how to make better reels to help the people because that's what my goals are. So I hope that that has helped you. Do a social media audit. If whatever your goal is, write out what your goal is, and then go down when it comes to social media or when it comes to your business. Write down what your goal is, and then do an audit of yourself. If it's social media, do an audit of your pages. I want to help people. I ain't necessarily out here to be some entertaining dog and pony show. It ain't about that. It's about helping you. Now, if I could do that in an entertaining way, that's what I want to do. But I ain't out here to be no damn clown. All right. And I feel like some of the stuff I've been doing has been like, I wouldn't say clownish, but it's like it hasn't been on the goal. So when I got to hear that from Naylor, it's like, all right, cool. I need to get more on goal. So I made it a point to go around and get reels that were relevant for where we were at, and that I believe can give some information and help the people who watch or hear it. But that was cool. And then we got to do a lot of meet and greet type stuff with the people who were on Pod Road. But I talked earlier about the Disruptors event. So Justin White is a guy I got to meet. He's all tatted up, cool dude. Flies an airplane. He got his own small airplane he flies. So I got to meet him, but he has this special group. It's a private group called the Disruptors. And on his, if you look up Justin White's Instagram page, he has a call to action on there that says, if you make over $1 million, DM me and want to be a part of the Disruptors group, DM him to see if you are qualified. So you actually got to qualify to be in his group, which was cool. But he invited us to his Disruptors event, and I got to go to that. So there's all kind of like Mark Bradley was there with the Leanscaper AI team, and Scott was there. Scott, Justin White was there, and all these other like high earning lawn and landscape business owners. They were all there. It was dope. It was at this place called Old Red. It's like a bar, 3-level bar that has a stage where people were performing live, and then there's these LED screens that go up to each level, so you don't have to like look at the stage to see what's going on. It's right there in front of you anyway. So that was cool. We did that. Sat on the out on the balcony, did some people watching. What's going on, Paul Miller? How you doing? And it was just dope to be around that type of an environment, right? Where people ain't really, when you come to these live events, almost everybody is on like joy and happiness time. Ain't too many people out here that I've seen at Equip Expo or Lawn and Landscape or Lawn Care Life or Winning Life or LAL or LCR Summit. Any of these things, you don't really see too many people out here moaning and groaning. It's mostly people who's like, let's get after it. I want to win. Like, let's go, let's go. If you could do it, I could do it. Those type of feelings. And that's what it was in there. I mean, the whole thing was sponsored, free drinks, free food. The food was, it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. They had this carne asada steak that was fire. Then they had these shrimp that was way overcooked. It was crazy. But overall, the whole experience was dope. I can't say enough good things about Naylor, LCR, lawn care rookie Naylor Taliaferro for putting together Pot Row and creating a platform for us with other platforms to come together like the Super Friends and do this content creation so that we can help other people to go out there and win in life. It was dope. I can't, like I said, say enough good things, and I'm very appreciative of the friendship that I have with not just Naylor, but every other social media person that I've ever met, and every person that I've ever met in our industry. It's been amazing. But last but certainly not least, we had to travel back to Pittsburgh. Now, I told the story at the beginning about the 7:30, staying 7:30 all the way over to Las Vegas from Pittsburgh. Now, I was only there for from Tuesday to Friday, so 3 days. And we had to fly right back on over here, and it was the completely different experience. Number one, when I flew to Vegas, I was then up, I was awake, and You can stay up in Las Vegas till 4 in the morning and not realize that it's 7 o'clock in the morning and that I stayed up for 24 hours. That happened twice. Craziness. But anyway, on the way back, it's different. So I left at 6:05, then it was 7:30, and then it was 9:30, then it was 10:30, and then the next thing I know, it was 1:25 in the morning, and we were 10 minutes away from Pittsburgh, and now it's 2 o'clock in the damn morning. My flight got delayed. I had a good time hanging out with my son before I left, but traveling back here from Las Vegas is no joke. I was so jet lagged to come back home because when I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was still wide awake like I was in Las Vegas. So I stayed awake. The birds start chirping. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning. Your boy slept damn near all day Saturday. It was crazy. So I was supposed to go up to Penhill's rental, um, get some stuff done on my grandstand HDX. I had to get the hydro oil change and all of that. But I slept the whole entire damn day. It was crazy. My wife was like, "You're still asleep?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, I'm like, "It's dark outside now." When I went to sleep, it was light outside. Now it's dark. It's crazy. But anyway, that was it. I came home, was wiped out. It took about 2 days. Now it's Monday. We got out there. Something was wrong with the damn HDX, so I had to end the day early. But we were jet lag, wiped out, and now we are back here better than ever, trying to make it happen and win in life. But before we get out of here, Lightbringer University will be online at some point here in early to mid August, where we will start signing people up for Lightbringer University, which is a private group for like minded individuals who want to win in life, who want to share their experiences, fellowship, have a community to bond with, grow with, share both our wins and our losses so that we can all help one another to win in life. We will meet twice a month to start with, and we will have some guest experts now and then to come in there. We will share the power of our own light of information with each other so that we can go out there together and make our dreams a reality. If you want to be a part of it, do me a favor, DM me at Mac_landscaping 412 on Instagram, or you can email me at MacLandscaping412 at gmail.com with your first and last name and your email address, and I will get you added to the waiting list so that you can be one of the first members to join. I look forward to everything that we're going to accomplish together when the group starts. And I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you and what your goals are so that we can go out there and accomplish those together. Don't forget to sign up for the 2025 Win in Life meetup at Equip Expo. There will be links down in the description of this video and in the show notes of the podcast when this comes out. There's already over 65 people signed up and spots are limited. So make sure you get signed up today. There will be free food while supplies last. 100 gift bags for the first 100 attendees. A cash bar will be available. We will be playing 3 games and contests. The strike challenge, everyone lines up, throws a ball. If you get a strike, you move on. If no one gets a strike, whoever has the highest pin count moves on. We will have the best dress contest. Dress up in your favorite bowling attire like my man Ron Folk did last year, and we will choose a winner by crowd participation, and there will be a prize with that. And last but certainly not least, we have the rock paper scissor tournament, which will also have a prize. Everyone is eligible to play. You only have to sign up with the Eventbrite link so that we know you're going to be there. I can't wait to see you. It's October 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. at Vernon Lanes on Story Lane down there in Louisville, Kentucky. And it will be followed up by the live studio audience lawn care power moves from 9 to 10 p.m. downstairs. We got bowling, we got pool tables, we got dartboards, we got arcade games, we got pinball machines, and we got 2 big old cash bars for you to enjoy yourself down there on Wednesday night from 6 to 10 p.m. at Vernon Lanes. Be there or be square. And last but certainly not least, Save yourself 50% off of your equip registration with code MAC50. There's links down in the show notes. There are links on my link tree at Mac_landscaping 412 on Instagram. And there is a link on any YouTube video that you may see. We got to hit you with this last shot, and it is this. Don't be afraid to be a disruptor. Just like my homie Justin White with his cool ass meeting group, right? Don't be afraid to be a disruptor. Many of us, when we first start our business, we are the first people who has ever started anything in our life. And sometimes that's going to disrupt how other people see themselves and how other people feel about you. But don't worry about that. We need to be disruptors because the disruptors are the people who get remembered. Every person who has changed the game, who has changed the mold, who has thought outside the box, those are the ones that we remember. Nobody remembers the people who just stay the same, run of the mill, go through the motions, don't try their best, don't disrupt anything. We remember the disruptors. So go out there, be a disruptor, and be proud of it. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life. Because I'm out. Peace.